Hi, I'm Kathleen Byram. I'm the author of Conversations with Donkey, a Bipolar Journey. I'd like to read to you today from Chapter 19, COVID and Trump and Death. It seems to me that those three things should be different papers. Books, in fact. But I don't have the ability to write books on those subjects. I do have the ability to rant Andy Rooney style, and that's what I shall do. This book is going to be set in the time of COVID and Trump, and it seems fitting that I should write about how this historic mess affects and has affected me. The death part is, of course, the family and all the friends I've lost in the last few years. Seems like the last 5 years have been the worst and the best. So many times now I have quoted those words. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Thanksgiving 2021, my father passed. A bunch of friends have passed. Some have contacted me from the dead. But mostly there's the slow, terrible trudge of time in which people kept fighting and arguing and getting sick and dying, and all in the meanwhile was Trump. He tore my guts up. Him. Turtle-Face McConnell. Lindsey Lindsey Graham. Today I saw the news. It said Arizona has passed a law that the cops can't be videotaped. Oh my God. Do right-wing people know what horror that strikes in me, us? I don't think if I had kept a diary all this time, these last 4 years, that it would have been possible to express in such a long, drawn-out way what I can express in this essay, and that is, I think we as a world nation have PTSD. Now, I know some people have it from, say, the Vietnam War. That's sacrosanct. But I think it has milder cases, and I think collectively we have it. I haven't given it a lot of psychological thought, so I don't know if it's true or not. I feel different feelings. Partly, I am overwhelmingly happy, spiritually. Also, I feel numb, but I am still intellectually and morally intact. Russia is invading Ukraine. Those poor people. Why aren't we helping them? Why isn't anybody helping them fight them off? What the hell has happened to us? Why aren't we putting a stop to this? I'm only one little donkey in a mute world. A world that is sitting by and watching Ukraine get invaded. I just said a prayer for Ukraine. I started to cry and it got ugly. I didn't know I had that in me. I really didn't know. It was like a quick and violent shower. All I can do now is sit back and pray. I don't even have any money to send to anyone, if it would even do any good. I used to like to give money and gifts to people who needed it. Now our budget has changed and I don't have the funds anymore. At least I felt like I was doing my tiny little part, but now nothing. All I have to share is my words with you. And prayer. I feel so bad when people put others down for praying. Sometimes it's all we have to give, and we give it our all. COVID is just the never-ending bleh It appears the rules about wearing masks inside have been lifted. I could shop in Walmart without a mask if I so choose. I don't think it's going to be over anytime soon. People won't wear masks and they won't cooperate, and they are the reason we keep having to wear the masks. Seems that I should give you a mental picture of me here. I sit at a table with a computer at it next to a window. There is usually sun outside, as it is sunny California, USA. I have beautiful forest green velvet-lined drapes that I'm so pleased and proud of, hanging in front of the big front windows facing the street. The street is only about 4 feet from the window. If I choose to open my drapes, I have beautiful rose bushes with coral red roses, huge blooms. They are deliciously fragrant. I live in a mobile home park. Everybody is very close to one another, and you can hear all the outside noises. In front of me is the couch, then a green oriental rug, and then a beautiful fireplace lit up with lights from my friend Nancy. A giant starry night picture done in aqua and orange on the fireplace instead of the requisite television, and a television to the right of the fireplace. It's a pleasant place. I love my spacious home and am very happy here with Rick. We are hermits. We both hate to go out, especially to drive or walk or anything. We are homebodies. Going out makes us nervous. How do I spend my days? Well, sometimes I do a little housework. Sometimes I make efforts to read. I rarely watch television. Mostly I am on the internet, sitting at the table, typing away. What do I do when I'm on the internet? I'm kind to people. That's it. That's my universal job. To analyze and write things down and to be kind to people. I spend my days and nights writing and looking for people in distress. People in distress. Whatever kind of distress it is. I've been friends with all kinds of people. No one escapes my love. Nobody. I am able to love the most unlovable. But that doesn't mean I like everybody. I love them, but only some people I have feelings of like. I love my friends, but I also like them. I try to love Trump, but I don't like him. And I refuse to hate him. Oh, he has baited us to do so. He has been responsible for horrible things. There are so many I don't know where to begin. And it isn't necessary. Plenty of history books will tell the tale of this man. Plenty of diaries, too, I imagine. But probably not a lot of schizoaffective, disordered people who are donkeys telling how they came to love everybody. By the way, I'll tell you how. When I joined ICHC and started loving those people, it came to be that when I'd see a stranger I felt wary of, I'd just say to myself, what if that was my cheese friend? And my attitude would change. This made me change the way I felt and thought about people. Anyway, back to Donald Trump. I have a fantasy. I want to become a famous donkey. I want to be known by one name, Kaffy. That would be lovely. I would write this book, and people would buy it, and it would do well. And I would become famous and be known as Kaffy the Donkey who loves everybody. And I would tell people about my story and how I went from a donkey to a Dawnkey with universal love for all. Trump would hear about me and that I am a liberal donkey. This would amuse him. He would want to know if he too is loved by the donkey who claims to love everybody. And he would arrange to meet me, and I can imagine them wanting to do photos and all that stuff, and how they'd be searching me and other weird stuff. But all I'd have is love to offer. And I would meet him, and he would feel a strange charm and trust in this silly, loving woman. And I would tell him I'd like to advise him spiritually, and he, mesmerized, agrees, and we hug, and everything is magical and nice. And the world is stunned. And everybody wants to see the donkey who loves everybody. And God and the universe, or whatever you call it, will give me the extra special magical oomph that I need. I understand that Moses stuttered. I give you, reader, the benefit of the doubt and trust you understand what I just meant as it relates to me. I want to be Kaffy the magical love donkey. I tell you otherwhere in this book about my feelings about my past. I believe I was stressed sitting here at this window typing away because I would imagine the cops or somebody coming for me. I was terrified of that doorbell, the banging on the door. I really honestly believe I was hiding too from the Nazis and was taken somewhere horrible. When my psychic friend confirmed that I had indeed been in that kind of life, I felt like a weight was taken off my shoulders. I felt like having the window open. So I have this delusional fairy tale fantasy about being the love donkey and affecting people positively and affecting positive changes and talking to rich people and convincing them to take large portions of their money and do practical humanitarian things with them. It is like delusional bipolar crazy thinking. But I take my medication religiously, no pun intended. Funnily, I realized recently I often say things that can be taken in two different ways. I don't do this on purpose. It has caused problems, I suspect. Anyway, this book is the mind of a bipolar, schizoaffective donkey having a COVID, Trump, death experience. What has COVID, Trump, and death done to me in the last 5 years? It has made me into the donkey I am today. So I will begin by dedicating this paper to the following people who have passed. My father, Jesse Franklin, Frank Heath. My friends, Janet Ast, Ren Nawi, Amy Burns, Susan Jeswin O'Shea, Susan Heimbaugh, Francis Young, Hector Elizalde, Cindy McNash, Sally Schoaf, and others. If I have omitted anyone, rest assured it is due to my dingbattiness and not their lack of standing in this list. Next, chapter 20 is called Weirdness. Thank you for listening so much. And would you please, if anything spoke to you, leave me a comment, and like and subscribe if you don't mind. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.